Hi there, and welcome to this training called Anatomy of a Perfect Donate Form. If your organization would benefit from better online fundraising results, then this is a training for you. My name is Yesenia Sotelo, and I am a web developer and digital skills trainer, sometimes at the same time. I am the founder of Smart Cause Digital, where I work with nonprofits to build websites and train them in skills that help them, just like this, improve their online fundraising results. My email address is yesenia@smartcausedigital.com, and I'm at Silverbell on Twitter. Let's talk about the anatomy of a perfect donate form. A lot of nonprofits, many of whom I work with, go through a lot of effort to drive traffic to the website. You are sending email marketing. You are posting on social media. Maybe you're even running Google AdWords campaigns. And all of this effort is sending people to a donate form that is not doing you any favors. In fact, a lot of online donation forms, and I do make a lot of donations myself to nonprofits, and I run across these problems over and over again. They're simply scary. There's some scary problems going on out there. So we're going to walk through this infographic, which is also available right below this video. So if you want to download the infographic and save yourself a copy, go ahead. I'm going to walk through the infographic and explain to you what each of these elements means and why you should have them and how you can achieve them. We're looking to establish, or rather achieve, three things with our online donation form: heart, trust, and ease. Heart, we're trying to connect our donor with the values that she has for herself, letting her know that our organization is going to help accomplish those values. Trust, we want to make sure our donor knows that she can trust our organization with her information. And ease, we want to make it as easy as possible for our donor to accomplish the goal, which is making the donation. It starts from the very beginning, from the very top, with the log icon. So your donation form, whether it's hosted on your site or hosted elsewhere, should be communicated securely. It should be HTTPS. It should use an SSL certificate. When you're trying to figure this out, look in the URL and see if it has an S in the URL, or if there's a lock icon, or if the bar is green on the browser. These are some of the ways you can tell whether the form is being communicated securely. And it's absolutely imperative. It's a must. Next up, the header. You'll see here in my mock-up that I've included this icon, which stands for an image. You want to provide branding that lets your donor know she's in the right place, but you don't want to provide so much stuff that she gets confused or distracted. So when you're doing this on your website, you want to keep the logo that appears on every other page. Maybe you want to keep like horizontal lines or any other kind of graphic elements, but you want to take away the menu. You want to take away any other flair that might appear up here, like social media icons, search toolbars, additional smaller navigation menus. Take away anything that just distracts and could potentially cause her to click to go somewhere else, because we don't want that. We just want her to focus on what's going on this page, which is donations. But again, we want to give her trust and let her know that this form belongs to our organization and is safe to use. So we want to keep the header and a couple of other elements to let her know that this is the correct place to be. Next thing coming up is an image, and I want you to use a big image, as big as you can get, and I prefer that the image include one person. Now, you're probably at this point really pushing back in your head, thinking to yourself, no way. One, we have a terrible image library. Two, we work with people that we can't post in images. It's not allowed, or we don't want to. We want to protect their privacy. Three, it's just really hard to get images, good stock images. There's so many objections that I hear from nonprofits when it comes to finding a good image for a website. And I understand it really is hard. I've worked for organizations that fit all of the criteria that I just listed out for you, and so I know it quite well. I also know that a donation form with an image is going to get you so many more donations than a donation form without one. And it is worth your time and effort and conversations with colleagues and bosses. It is worth it to get a really great image on this page. If it has to be a great stock image, that's okay too. I have an article on my site that explains how to get good stock images that don't look quite so, stockish. There are ways around all of the limitations that you might be thinking about, but it is imperative that you have a photo on here. And if the photo includes people, please, please, please just feature one person in this photo. There's a lot of research that shows that as humans, we connect deeply to stories that feature one other person, or rather feature one person, and our connection starts to diminish immediately as soon as there are two people in a story. So if you can get a photo with one person in it, that would be awesome. Try to keep your text brief. That's another challenge for nonprofits a lot. A lot of the time we want to write as much as we can because we think the more information the better, and that's not true. Remember, this is also a goal of ours here is ease. So when you're writing your text, try to keep it brief. Include text that links the donor to the donation and the solution of a problem. So explain to the donor how her donation is going to solve this problem. I have a really cool example I found just for our training. This example comes from the Ounce of Prevention here in Chicago, and it reads, the line I want to read to you, your donation supports education programs that have proven to help disadvantaged children launch brighter futures and break the cycle of poverty. So there I am, I'm the donor, and my donation is being linked to the solution to a problem. Next up, inspired by my days as a direct mail person, my first job at a nonprofit involved sending thousands and thousands and thousands of direct mail pieces, and I learned a lot about copywriting and formatting and ease. Oh my gosh, so much about ease of donations. One of the pieces that I've taken away from the direct mail world, which is still helpful in the online world, is this affirmation, this yes, comma, I'd like to support blank. You just want to remind your donor of the value of the solution, of the thing that she is supporting with her donation. Have this affirming statement that just helps her refocus as to what she is doing here. Next up, donation amounts. I've seen some forms that have way too many of these options. You'll have like 8 different donation amount options. And honestly, she wants you to tell her how much she should give, how much you need. So choose an amount that's the average online donation amount, maybe a little higher than the average. Choose an amount, list it first, format it so it stands out against all the others. Give her a couple of other options, hopefully in the higher amounts. And then, of course, in other fields, so she can give whatever it is she feels that's right for her. And that's it. Don't give her too many options. Again, you want it to be as easy as possible for her to make this donation. For the rest of the form, I've got 2 tips. First, only ask for the information that you are really going to use and be honest with yourself about this. I see a lot of nonprofits collecting excess information, gender, age, how did you hear about us, communication preferences, a bunch of other things that they never actually use. If you're only collecting information to have it, don't do it, because the more fields you ask of her in this form, the less likely she is to actually make the donation. So you want to keep this form as short as possible. You could always follow up later and ask her to complete a survey in case you're wondering like what the gender breakdown is among your donors, what the age breakdown is. You can always survey them later. But in this form, your goal is to make it as easy as possible, so you must ask for the fewest number of information points as possible. Name, email, billing address, credit card number is probably fine, right? When you're formatting or setting up your form, try to use descriptive headlines like my name is, my email address is, my contact information is, something that she can easily scan and understand so that she knows that she can complete this form quite quickly. And if you have the option within whatever tool you're using, try to make these headings as big as possible so that it's, again, easy for her to scan and see what she's being asked to do. When it comes to the form that sends the donation itself, 2 tips. 1, there's no submit button in this, there's no cancel or clear button in this infographic for a reason. We never want to see a cancel button or a clear button on a donation form. Don't do it. Because what ends up happening is some donors are accidentally going to click that and accidentally wipe away their donation form. And they will not restart. So you don't want to give them any opportunity to make a mistake. We also want to make sure that we add your custom label. I don't want to see any submit buttons because those are also terrible for conversions. We want to see custom labels. Send my donation, make my donation, send my support, Any of these would be fine. Whatever custom text makes more sense for you would also be great. Just rename it. Don't keep submit. Do something custom. In the design, on the design side, make it as big as possible. Make it a bold color that stands out. Make it impossible to miss. Make it super easy for your donor to finish that effort and just click go. And then in the bottom of your donation form, we're going back to this idea of trust. So some of these icons, like the BBB or other charity, what's the word, like endorsement kind of icons, can be hard to get. And if your organization has one, great, put it on your donation form. If your organization doesn't have one, don't worry, because these other two anyone can get. So your SSL vendor, whomever they are, is going to give you some kind of icon that you can use on your page that says, this page is being protected by an SSL certificate. You should absolutely use it. Put it towards the bottom of the page. It's a handy reassurance for someone who's just double checking that their information is being safeguarded. Your merchant processor also usually gives you a icon that you can use. Even if your merchant processor is PayPal, they have an icon that you can use on your site. And all it does is remind someone that there is a third-party processor here also safeguarding their information, specifically their credit card information, which is really important. Also in your footer, I want to make sure that you list your organization's name, your physical address, a way to contact you, as well as a link to your privacy policy. And privacy policies aren't just nice, they can actually be legal requirements depending on how your payment is being processed. So absolutely make sure that you have one on your website and then you're linking to it from your donation form. I hope that you learned quite a bit from this training of the anatomy of the perfect donate form. And if you would like more resources just like this one, make sure you're signed up for my email newsletter. I send out a helpful website resource every couple of weeks. If you're watching this on smartcostdigital.com already, just scroll down and sign up in the little pink box. If you're watching this somewhere else like YouTube, come on over to smartcostdigital.com and sign up there. Thanks for watching.